Sunny, thank you. Can I just, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming here this evening and wish you a happy Chinese New Year. I now believe what Sunny tells me about the good year it is going to be for Labour. If I'd known that Douglas had a Chinese ancestry, I definitely would have asked him to speak after me. He is now a hard act to follow. I cannot claim that my mother was born in China. However, I do want to place on record the importance of our relationship as a country with China. I had the privilege of visiting China as the Climate Change Secretary and found it an incredibly interesting and inspiring experience as I saw many of the environmental efforts that were being made in China. And as I said to the Chinese Vice Premier when he visited earlier this year, we very much welcomed Chinese participation in the agreement at Cancun and look forward to a similar agreement building on that in Cape Town. And our two countries have so much that I think we can share with each other, as I have been talking about with the people who I've met here this evening. So that's something about Britain and China. Let me say something about the Labour Party and the Chinese community in Britain as well. We are very, very fortunate to have Sunny who leads our efforts on behalf of Chinese for Labour. And it is a very, very important effort and very, very important to us that the Chinese community feels part of Labour. But I want to be open and honest with this group that I know we have a lot further to go to make sure we address the issue of Chinese representation in Labour. I was saddened when I talked to somebody recently and he told me that of the 4,500 councillors in Britain, who Labour has, none of them are of Chinese origin. And that shows we have a long way to go to get Chinese representation in local councils, in Parliament, the House of Lords, in all of our elected and other institutions. So I want to, most of all tonight, put on record our determination collectively to make sure that the voice of the Chinese community in Britain is heard, not just in Britain itself, but through our party. And I'd like to use something that is something that I very much undertake to do. Let me end just on this final point, because I don't want to make a particularly political point. Sunny, I think, is right to say it's going to be a hard year for many people up and down this country. I think that the task for our party is to be the voice of people in these tough times, to be the credible voice and to be the voice of people. As the Chinese community, it is very, very important that we are also seen as your voice. So I hope very much that this occasion, this ability and moment to celebrate the Chinese New Year is the first moment of an ongoing dialogue that we can have in the months and years ahead, taking us up to our next manifesto, so that we can show by the time of the next general election that we can be the voice that the Chinese community in Britain wants to turn to. So thank you very much for coming, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.